Hare Krishna, welcome devotees to the Gita Daily session. So today we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, Sloka 8, 9 and 10. So I would like to thank all devotees who are joining regularly. Let's start by taking the blessings of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Maya Sudarshan, Lakshmi Narasimhadev, Gaurnita and Panchatattva. Let's pray that by their blessings we shall understand the transcendental topics of Bhagavad Gita. So let's recite the prayers together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyate Shatagini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dedicate a session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, by whose mercy we are able to understand Bhagavad Gita in a very easy and practical way. So let's thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we'll be discussing three shlokas, that is 12.8, 9 and 10. So we will not be seeing the word meaning because I know it will take more time. So we'll just see the shloka and translation. So let's all recite the shloka together. So first is 12.8. Mayeva manadashtva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashishyasi mayeva ada urdhvam na samshaya. Translation: just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. 12.9. Adachittam samadadum nasaknoshi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichaptum dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. 12.10. अभ्यासेऽपि असमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वान् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because of working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So, we have been discussing, we started discussing the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yesterday we started. So, this chapter is known as devotional service. So we have seen that, just to recap, we have seen that the Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 chapters. So the first 6 chapters, so the Bhakti, basically the essence of Bhagavad Gita is the Bhakti Yoga, which actually are the middle chapters. So they are sandwiched between the first 6 and the last 6 chapters. And so now this is the 12th chapter, which is the last chapter of, which is actually focusing on Bhakti. So here actually we can see the conclusion which is the Lord is giving. No? So the last chapter we saw the Vishwarupa, and before the previous chapter we saw the opulence of the Lord. So all these chapters the Lord actually was building the foundation, to give the information that how bhakti is superior or the topmost, right? So yesterday we saw how actually the Lord is explaining. So in the 12th chapter the discussion starts where Arjuna asks Krishna, no, which is better, no, the process of impersonal liberation or the process of bhakti. And the Lord actually explains that the path of bhakti is the topmost. And the last sloka we saw that the path of impersonal liberation is filled with so much of difficulties. Right. So that's how that's the background we are now. In today's sloka, what actually the Lord is explaining to Arjuna. So there are three slokas actually. Here the Lord is giving the three different options, by which actually we can attain perfection. So these are not our alternative choices, but no, they are the progressions. So we have earlier seen that the bhakti, the process of spiritual path is like a yoga ladder, right? So we have the starting is the karma yoga, then there is the jnana yoga, then the ashtanga yoga, and the bhakti yoga finally. So here actually in the 12.8, the Lord actually says Arjuna that fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of God. So engage your intelligence. So mind and intelligence. The Lord is asking Arjuna to completely perform pure bhakti. So this is the topmost stage. This is known as Raganuga Bhakti or spontaneous devotional service. So this is the topmost. Then in the next sloka, Adachittam Samadhatum, Krishna says Arjuna that if you cannot execute pure devotion, Raganuga Bhakti, then you would perform Vaidhi Bhakti, Abhyasa Yogena Tato. So by practice, no, by Abhyasa, or that means this is known as a Vaidhi Bhakti, by, by regulated devotional service. Then in the last sloka, 12.10, Krishna says Arjuna, if you are asamartha, apyasepi asamartho, if you are not able to perform Vaidhi Bhakti, then you work for me or execute, so you perform Karma Yoga, right, which you have seen. No, it is also known as Krishna Karma. So this way, uh, Krishna actually assures Arjuna. Basically, Krishna, this conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, basically, it is not just meant for them. We know that the Lord actually is giving this knowledge to Arjuna, which is meant for all human beings, right? So, according to the capacity or the state where we are currently, we can take up different processes. But actually, it has been already established that the bhakti is the topmost. Okay, so let's see the topic in little more detail. Yeah, so basically the three steps are mentioned. No, the one is karma yoga, the Vaidhi bhakti, and Raganuga bhakti. So we will see the comparison between the three. Okay, so or mainly the two. So basically the last part karma yoga, I think we have already discussed in a couple of sessions ago, right? About detail about how can one execute Krishna karma, or when we work for the Lord, how actually we are free from the reactions, right? So it is akarma. So there are two ways in that we have seen. One is directly working for the Lord, which means no, that is more like a devotion service only, like no executing the devotion service, like doing preaching activities or other activities, like no worshipping the Lord, deity worship, etc. So, or the other one is which actually the real karma yoga is the word actually we offer the results of our activities to the Lord. So we perform the activities which are required for our sustenance, but offer the result to the Lord. So this way, we actually can free from the reactions. So we have seen the example. No, if you're doing business, we can offer the results, which actually is the income that we get from the business. Or if you're working, also same thing. So we are offering the results. So we are detaching from the results, or we are not attached to the results, right? And offering the result to the Lord. So this way we can become purified. So that is the Krishna karma or the path of karma yoga. But normally, by executing karma yoga, we cannot attain the highest perfection. So that is like a precursor or a step before. No? So what happens normally is that by executing karma yoga or nishkama karma yoga, one actually comes to the next stage, higher stage. They can come to the bhakti stage, like karma mishra bhakti, and then they can move to Vaidhi bhakti and then Raganuga bhakti. So we will see what is the difference between Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. So Vaidhi Bhakti is Vaidhi means Vidhi, according to the rules and regulations. So in Vidhi Bhakti or Vaidhi Bhakti, one has not yet developed the spontaneous attraction to the Lord. So basically, Vaidhi Bhakti is the previous step to Raganuga Bhakti. So Raganuga Bhakti is where actually there is a spontaneous devotion. So basically, automatically the devotion or the love of Godhead is there. But in Raganuga Vaidhi Bhakti, it has to be revived. So we have seen that now what is the condition of the jiva, right? So the jiva's original constitutional position is to always serve the Lord. Jiva Swarup Hoy Krishna Nanditya. So this is the constitutional position. And the analogy is given like a small child. The child has an inherent or innate ability to walk, but it has to be revived by training. When the child is trained, or no, he starts walking little by little, he actually regains that ability to walk. So the walking ability is not an artificial imposition on the child. It is already there. So similarly, the bhakti, devotion to the Lord is an innate capacity of all the jivas, because that is a constitutional person of jiva, and it is not artificially imposed. Only thing, it has to be revived. So the Vaidhi Bhakti, the process of rules and regulations, executing devotional service by rules and regulations, is a training by which the jiva actually again regains that original consciousness. So Vaidhi Bhakti is more like based on little bit there is a practice required. No, so it is not naturally coming yet. So you have to practice. So that is the process actually, which all of us are initially starting. Vaidhi Bhakti. So there actually is there is a do's and don'ts. We have the do's, like we have to chant ABCD, association, chanting the holy names, reading the scriptures, books, and following a diet, which is Krishna conscious diet. So these are the rules. Then there is also no don'ts, like no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. So these are the four no don'ts. So like that, there are rules and regulations in Vaidya Bhakti. So when we execute Vaidya Bhakti under the and very important, most important thing of Vaidya Bhakti is that we have to be under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, a guru, right? Because we are actually learning or training in this stage. So this is the initial stage of Bhakti. So Vaidya Bhakti, right? But in when we progress in Vaidya Bhakti, gradually we move to the Raganuga Bhakti. Then automatically, when the consciousness is revived, then it becomes natural. We don't have to artificially do the things. Sometimes in the Vaidya Bhakti, we have to force ourselves. Like, for example, devotees get up for Mangalarti, they get up at 4 o'clock. So sometimes we have to force ourselves to get up early morning, right? And push. So there is a little bit push required in this case. But then when it comes natural, when we practice Vaidya Bhakti under the guidance of a spiritual master for like many years, then actually automatically the spontaneous devotion service is awakened. So then we come to the stage of Raganuga Bhakti. So this is the Raganuga Bhakti. So in the Raganuga Bhakti, it is spontaneous. So then it is not necessary to follow the rules and regulations. But but actually they still follow for the setting the example. But then it comes natural automatically. So the devotees in Raganuga Bhakti, they follow a pure devotee. No, they follow a pure devotee. Like for example, the pure devotees mostly the gopis of Vrindavan. No, they are considered as pure devotees, the Gopas, the Gopis. So for them it is natural. So we follow the Raganuga Bhakta follows one of the example of a devotee in Raja, and accordingly execute devotional service, always meditating upon the Lord. So so this is the fundamental difference. And in Vaidhi Bhakti, it is more like a duty. No, I must serve because the scriptures say, or my spiritual guru is saying, so I will do this. But when you come to Raganuga Bhakti, it automatically, I cannot help but serve because automatically we are drawn to the Lord. So in the Vaidhi Bhakti, we have this process of hearing, chanting, remembering, deity worship, prayers, service, taking austerities, following the vratas. All these things are part of rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti. But when you come to Raganuga Bhakti, the remembrance of the Lord is automatic. The devotee is always absorbed in the thoughts of Lord. He always feels a separation, and then he is always yearning or always hankering for the association of the Lord and devotee. So this is the difference. So, so we have also seen, that the various stages, that the devotee pass through, right? So we have seen that, in Ado Shraddha, right? In the beginning, there is faith. Then Sada Sadhu Sangha. So when we start having faith, we start associating with no other devotees. Then Bhajana Kriya. Then we start chanting the holy names, right? Then Ado Shraddha Tada Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya. Then Anartha Nivrti. After that, actually comes the stage of Anartha Nivrti, where all the impurities are removed. So this Anartha Nivati stage is the very difficult stage because the anarthas are so strong for the jiva conditioning. We are conditioned to so many anarthas that it is very difficult for us to give it up. So this process takes the clearing stage. It takes very long time, right? So these are all part of the Vaidhi Bhakti, right? Then actually after that comes Nishtha. That Nishtha means like the strong determination to execute Bhakti, right? Then after that Nishtha comes the Ruji. The taste will start developing, right? Then there is Asakti, Bhava and Prema. So like that, the various stages of devotional service. So this way, basically in the three shlokas, Krishna actually says, the first shloka Krishna says that you execute Raganuga Bhakti, right? Which means the complete absorption in the Lord, which is like pure devotional service. And then the Lord says, if you're not able to execute Raganuga Bhakti, then you perform Vaidhi Bhakti, which actually is by the rules and regulations, right? And if you're not able to perform Vaidhi Bhakti, then you do actually uh, Karma Yoga, right? Or Nishkama Karma Yoga, where actually you perform, you do your activities, but actually give the results, offer the result to the Lord. So when one executes Vaidhi Karma Yoga, then he becomes purified, and slowly he comes to the next stage of come to the Vaidhi Bhakti stage. So this way the Lord actually explains the three processes by which actually one can actually attain the Lord, right? By the gradual process. So we'll see some examples like of each of this. One ideal example who has executed these different paths. So for the spontaneous devotion service to the Lord or Raganuga Bhakti. So actually beyond Raganuga Bhakti there is something called Ragatmika Bhakti. So in Raganuga Bhakti also one is still under training. And finally there is something Ragatmika Bhakti means actually they are completely pure devotees. So they are already liberated in that stage. So the gopis of Vrindavan is always given as an example of pure devotees of the Lord. So they actually, generally the pure devotees are also known as Nitya Siddhas. So they are eternally liberated actually, and they sometimes come to the material world to just execute pastimes with the Lord. Right? So just they become part of the Lord's leelas. So they are not under the influence of Mahamaya. They are under the influence of Yoga Maya. We have seen that, no? Mahanastumam Partha, Devim Prakriti Mashridam. So they are under the control of Yoga Maya. So the Gopis of Vrindavan are the ideal example of one who is executing pure devotion. But also Prahlad Maharaj also is an example sometimes given for the pure devotion to the Lord. So if you look at Prahlad Maharaj, he was always absorbed in the thought of Lord. No, he's always remembering the Lord, right? And he was always feeling separation from the Lord, and his mind and intelligence both were fixed in the Lord, right? So he could see the Lord everywhere. So this way, Prahlad Maharaj was always completely engrossed in the Lord's devotion service. So this is one example of the pure devotion. Then we can see the Raganuga Bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti example. So Vaidhi Bhakti, one who has executed rules and regulations. So Ambarish Maharaj is one example. So Ambarish Maharaj actually started as a Vaidhi Bhakti, but finally he came to the Raganuga Bhakti. So he is also sometimes counted under pure devotees. But initially, Ambarish Maharaj was a king, and he was strictly following the rules and regulations. He was following his spiritual master, and he followed various, vridas like Ekadashi. He had severe austerities he performed, yagyas he performed. So he executed the process of devotional service by following the rules and regulations. But then gradually he come to the state of pure devotion. So we have seen Ambarish Maharaj's story earlier, how actually the Lord is favoring the pure devotee. Like when Durvasa Muni cursed Ambarish Maharaj, the Lord actually, Durvasa finally has to take shelter of Ambarish Maharaj only because nobody could save him. Right? So this way it was proven that the devotee of the Lord is always superior. Then for the example of the last process of Karma Yoga, Janak Maharaj is mentioned. So in Bhagavad Gita 3.2, Krishna actually gives the example of Janagadaya. Lord says that the kings like Rajarshis like Janaka attain perfection by strictly following the path of Karma Yoga. So Janaka is example. So, but Janaka is a very exalted devotee also. So Janaka could be counted under an example of Karma Mishra Bhakti. So he was executing all his duties very perfectly, but at the same time, he had scriptural knowledge, and he was also gradually he elevated to the platform of Bhakti. But actually, he started as a Karma Yogi, right? So he was renowned. No, though he was ruling the kingdom, he was not attached to the kingdom, and he executed his duties. No, he arranged them Swayamvara for Sita Devi, right? Like that, he executed all his responsibilities, but then and then he ruled the kingdom, with proper justice, wisdom, detachment, right? So he performed sacrifices. So this way, though he executed his worldly duties, but he was completely detached from the results. Right? So he is an example given under Karma Yogi. So today's actually what we discussed. We'll try to wrap up. So today we saw 3 slokas from the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? Where actually the Lord gives 3 processes. So basically he gives, first he asks Arjuna that no, you completely become absorbed in the Lord, and you can execute pure devotion, right? So in this process actually we can directly come back to me. So this is the topmost path, pure devotion service to the Lord. Then the Lord says if you cannot execute pure devotion, then actually you perform Vaidhi Bhakti, which means actually Bhakti under the guidance of a spiritual master by following the rules and regulations. Right? But if you are not even able to do that, then you can actually become detached from the results of your karma. You execute your material duties, but don't become attached to the duties. No, you give up the attachment to the duties and offer the results to the Lord. So here actually Srila Prabhupada explains when offering the results, we have earlier also seen, is that the results of our activity is what is the result of our activity when we are working in an office, or when you're working in a company, or when you do business. The result actually is the money that we earn, right? So the money which we earn actually is having karma, because it is not a pure process that we are earning the money, because directly or indirectly the organization which we work, they may be involved in many activities which actually will causing difficulties for other jivas, right? I gave one example. Like for example, I work for an engineering company, and let's say the engineering company is manufacturing some PLCs, or PLC means programmable logical controllers. Basically, it's some computers it is manufacturing, which is used to automate the factory. Let's say this is the job which I'm doing. So sometimes what happened, these computers are used to in factories where no the animals are slaughtered, right? So this way we cannot see, no, it is very difficult to know how the what work we are doing. Like, well, let's say I work for a bank, and the bank is lending money to people, and then in the end the bank will try to, because if the person doesn't pay the money back, the bank has to recover the money, he will actually capture the property. So then we should put distrust into the person who has taken the loan. So directly or indirectly, any way we earn the money in this material world, it's always, there is a risk actually, we'll have to always cause some harm or difficulty to some other people. So there is always karma in the activity which we do, right? So only way to purify the karma is to use the results, or become, one is becoming detached from the results, and second is actually using that result in the service of the Lord. So the result actually we get is the money, right? And a part of the income, because we have to sustain our family, we have to use the money for, maintaining the family, right? We have to have a house, we have to may have, pay fees for the children, right? We have to buy the grocery. So basically this cannot be avoided. To sustain in the material world, we need to spend money. So whatever money extra we have, also we have to save for the future. And but some part of our money we can use in the service of the Lord, right? So when we use our money in the service of the Lord, then actually that in that it becomes purified, right? We also become purified. So like for example, we have, Prabhupada gives the example of constructing the temples, right? So basically the temples are places not just of worship, especially, temples we construct, they are actually the places of learning, right? So in temples we have the discourse of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we conduct courses. So basically we give the spiritual knowledge to the people who are come, right? And by that knowledge they become purified, and then, they get a chance to return back home, back to Godhead. So this way, if you use the money in the service of the Lord, right, in preaching activities, etc., then that is the best way we can purify our karma. So initially we can start like that. No, we are working in different places, an organization, we do business. So, but then try to use the result, in the service of the Lord. So this is the initial stage. But then gradually we become purified. We can also start executing the Vaidhi Bhakti by following the rules and regulations to extend whatever is possible under the spiritual master. Then, like that, we can gradually elevate step by step, no, and come to the highest platform. So we have seen how also we can practically apply, right, the teachings here. So with that, I think we come to the end of today's topic. If anybody has any questions, they can unmute and ask, or they can put it in the chat. So we will chant. Let us chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra together. So if you want, you can unmute and chant with me. No, let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Devotees, anybody has any question today? Okay, I think this topic is a little difficult to understand, I guess. So if you have questions, no, which is not clarified, you can also please contact me. You can message me personally, or it's okay also to call me also if it has to be clarified. Okay, so we can end here. Then I would like to thank all devotees for joining regularly. Please keep connected. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Prabhu,
We'll end here. Thank you all.
hello,
Hare.
hello. Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes, bro. Varun, bro, you had a question?
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Vairagya is also considered as ignorance, or how is it, Prabhu? I'm just trying to understand.
Can you little bit loud, Arun, bro? I'm not able to fully hear.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but voice is little less. Yeah.
Yeah, my question was Vairagya is also considered as ignorance?
No, Vairagya is not ignorance. So Vairagya
No,
actually means detachment, no? Detachment from material things, right? This is Vairagya. So, or it is also renouncing the things, right? So Vairagya is a symptom of detachment. So it is not ignorance. So it also depends, no, what is the consciousness. So consciousness and intent also becomes, no, we mentioned, right? Bhava is important. So why do we renounce? So sometimes people renounce because of frustration, no? Because let's say I try to enter into married life, but then I feel so much of challenges, right? I'm not able to manage. So then they want to become divorced. They want to become. So this is not, may not be, no, the right understanding. This is because of frustration that we are doing vairagya, renunciation. But in the Vedic process, no, vairagya is as an essential process of spiritual path, where actually gradually we, reduce our responsibilities and understanding the, futility, right? So when we have the proper spiritual knowledge, we understand that all these things are temporary, right? The material possessions, all this wealth, everything, relationship. By this proper understanding, automatically we become, we become a vairagi, or we become detached from these things, and then we do it as a duty, and then, become more attached to the Lord. So that way, then the vairagya actually is with proper understanding. So it is not because of ignorance. I mean, it can be ignorance when you when you do detachment or renouncement, no, without proper understanding. But otherwise, with proper knowledge, also we can become detached. Am I under as I like? I'm not sure whether I understood the question correctly, Arun Prabhu. Is it okay, or you were intending something else?
No, no, I just wanted to check that, sometimes our ignorances are will also cause that kind of detachment. Sometimes, like what I observed is, uh, we are looking in material world. We always look for the result, right?
Yeah.
So that's the in that context I was asking.
So did I answer your question, or you have some further follow-up questions?
Yeah, maybe I will ask you in one on.
Okay, sure,
That
no
is the.
problem. Okay, okay,
Thank you.
okay. Thanks. Thank you. Then I think we'll end here. Reaction.